Okay, here we go. All right, you guys, so we're still focusing on the system for right now. And we're going to get this down. And as I said to all of you in the text blast we've been doing back and forth, we're taking it one step at a time so that we can master each skill of this system as we go. And the thing that is so important to remember is what we are doing is we need to master the system. We need to have it down so clear, because it's going to be a company-wide system. So the power of what we're doing is we're all moving as one. We're creating something that is so simple and so duplicatable, but we need to make sure we own it first. And so I'm really proud of everyone that's working through and learning these skills. I just want to make a couple announcements. We have another elixir coming. And this one is another game changer, revolutionary product. And it's brain food. So it's not only mental clarity, mood enhancement, but it's also really, really, really good for your brain. And so I'm not going to get into the details on this call. We will next week. But there is a Zoom on Thursday where Dr. Plant and Dr. G, Sarah Richter, and Lindsay Gannett are all going to be on, and they're going to teach you about this amazing new product. It's all about cognitive performance, and it's another one that
cognitive performance.
Really, yeah, really, really interesting, and it's a game changer. So I highly recommend you get on this call. For sure, there will be a recording if you can't get on, but this is something you want to learn. And here's what I want to say to you: just like any launch we do, you want to start getting the tom-toms going, which is why you're going to be taught about it now. Is you want to get the tom-toms going in advance of this launch. And so what you'll find is there'll be a new toolkit in Isagenix Business that will be specifically about this new elixir. And it probably would start really well with learning how to pronounce it. Go ahead, Mr.
Pronounce what? The nootropic?
Nootropic.
Nootropic
is how you pronounce this elixir. Nootropic. And so
not mootropic, nootropic.
So you want to, and so again, what you want to do is take the lead from the toolkit, take the lead from the social shareables, which will be released shortly, and know this product is coming, and it's profound, and you guys are gonna love it. Yeah, and again, it's beautiful packaging. You're right, KJ, which is so exciting. Once again, it's all consistent. I also want us all to take a moment and congratulate Barbara, who hit Crystal Director.
Yeah.
Oh man, you did it.
So awesome.
We're so proud of you. Can everybody unmute and just give a big whoop for Barbara?
Congratulations, Barbara.
That is awesome.
Congratulations,
Barbara.
Can't tell you enough.
You the woman. You the ISA woman.
She is an ISA woman, and it's a big.
And she qualified for Mexico.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you.
And did you notice I put a post on my, and I'm hoping you guys will all share it on your own pages. So our team is on all the beautiful achievement and cheering for Barbara is on everybody's page. But Barbara, I don't know if you noticed who liked your achievement today, but it was Kathy Coover. So that's how much they're involved in everything that's happening. But she recognized you and said congratulations today on my post. So pretty cool stuff. We're really proud of you. Excellent, excellent work. Next stop, executive. So all right, so you guys, another thing, we were talking about this at the top of the call, but we are having such an amazing experience in the training that we're getting through ICANN and Ascend. And I just want to share with you today just some of the things.
I'm sorry, I lost y'all.
Okay, can you guys see my can you see our?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys, here, this is something that we've learned, and it was so helpful today in the training that we're getting, which is I Can Sell and Recruit. And that's part of the gold training. And what she's teaching is the process of moving leads. First of all, creating a funnel for leads, and then effectively moving your leads through the funnel. And so one of the things she talked about is you have to be a 10. And any limiting beliefs that you have will impact your impact, right? So you want to be a 10 in terms of product, company, and industry. And you also want to be a 10 in terms of the size of your market. And so sometimes, we'll tell ourselves a story that the market isn't big enough or it's oversaturated. So what we're going to do here, her stats that she gave us today were really good. And we were challenged with finding some stats about each of our products. So one would be weight loss, one would be beauty, one would be specifically collagen, one would be hair revival, brain health, stress. Think about our product categories and the ones you're going to focus on, and then know the size of your market. It kind of helps you build your belief around it and the feeling of abundance around the market. And then the other thing she talked about, which is having your 30-second story really locked in. And so this week, everybody was kind of assigned, and we'll talk about that in a minute, with jumping back and forth and sharing our stories. And Wanda did a really good job of laying out her product story. And what you want to make sure, and she gave an example of that in our ICANN page, but you want to make sure that you have a business story and a product story. So we're going to focus on that next week. So let's look at this, because I thought these stats were incredible. So you want to be at 10 in terms of the size of your market. So you guys, you might want to take a screenshot of this, because this is amazing. So industry stats for weight loss. 2/3 of Americans are overweight. You guys, that's 179 million people. So do you think there are people out there that are going to give you a yes to weight loss? Right? The dollars spent on weight loss products in the US, it's $72 billion a year. And globally, it's 250 billion a year. And Mark did the math today. He's like, that's $197 million a day in the US. So here's the other stat. 95% of diets fail. We know that. But of the 5% that succeed, 80% gain the weight back. So what does this do for you knowing this? What kind of posture does this give you when you know we have the most awesome scientific studies that show what is happening to people a year later after they've taken that step to gain control over their weight and step into life wellness? A year later, the results are incredible. So knowing that about your posture, but also having that information available, having it on your phone, the study itself, where you can show it to someone who might be really discouraged because they've tried time and time again. And here is a company that actually delivers on its results. So knowing these stats gives you power, and it gives you posture, right? It's not like you're going to throw stats at people all the time, but it helps you with becoming a 10. In beauty, the global beauty industry, 511 billion, that was in 2021. It's expected to grow to 805 billion by 2023. So we're headed there right now. 58% of American women buy organic or natural skincare products. 25% of consumers want to buy only eco-friendly products. So what a beautiful fit this is for us. Consumers, this is a really interesting fact. Consumers are 40% more willing to try new beauty products than they were before the pandemic. I was so shocked by that. So what's happening is we're coming out of the pandemic, and people are focused on the importance of taking care of their health and well-being, but they're also focused on wanting to look their best and feel their best. So 40% more willing. So I think that's an amazing fact. Another one, in terms of e-commerce penetration of health, personal care, and beauty. The online share is predicted to surge by 48%, to 48% in the United States by 2023. And look at this chart, right? And so what's happening is people aren't shopping retail any longer.
Less and less.
And it's predicted that trend is going to continue, and e-commerce continues to grow. So does that give you posture about the strength of what you're doing in e-commerce and understanding what it is? So this is the type of stuff she's teaching us, and this was part of our homework. So for anybody that's doing that homework, we just preempted or helped you a little bit. So just having this kind of information helps you understand the strength, depth, and breadth of our profession and
You
the
guys,
opportunity.
just to keep in mind, right? Celluloid is equally as useful for men as it is for women. Obviously, as the collagen elixir is. None of these stats, none of these dollar volumes include the men's market, which is growing astronomically. We'll include those stats at another time, but it's another giant market.
And so let's move on into our training for this week. So as you know, we're working on really owning these systems and we're moving through them step by step. So we all master each step before we add to it. And tonight we'll be adding to the steps we've been taking so far. So I'm going to ask you guys to jump out and train. So the first thing I want to know is in terms of downloading all of our information so that it is on your phone, because what do we say? You can build your business with a cell phone. And so my question for all of you is, has everybody been able to successfully download all of these categories onto your phone that we have in files in TMA? And you guys, this is interactive, so I'd love to hear if you guys have everybody got their downloads done.
Yes.
Okay.
Lynn, I have not. How do I do that?
Pam, is that
Yeah.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'll do? I'll walk you through it. It's in
Okay.
files in TMA, which is our
Facebook.
Facebook business page. In
Okay.
where there's files, everything is lined up. All you do is you'll go to each of the categories and you just take the whole thing and you copy it and then you paste it into the notes of your phone and everything's there. And so it has the scripts, the lookbooks, the what to say when you're inviting someone onto our page or when they're taking a look at the lookbook. All the language is there. So then all you have to do is read it when you're connecting with people. So it's really important to have it there. And in this set of notes, we also have, you're not gonna be able to go down through it. We also have like what the price sheet is. We have a link to the catalog. We have a link to what the bonuses are for referral bonuses, which is product introductory bonus and double PIBs. So you want to have this really handy on your phone so that, again, we're telling everyone you can build your business on a phone. So just a recruiting tool, right? And so you're sitting with someone in a coffee shop and you're saying, our business is so easy. I can just use my phone. It's this simple. All I do, and then you scroll to your notes and you say, everything I need right here, this is my business. This is how simple my business is. Let me show you how it works. So I have someone who this week, she's in financial services. And she said to me this week that she wants to get started. And I said, let me show you how easy my business is. And I showed her this. And then I sent her, I did a PVC with her. And like, she was so excited to see that there's so little to learn. So as a busy person, to have so little to learn and have it all done for you where the scripts are set up, it just makes things really effective. So I'll help you with that, Pam.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. So
Lynn, I'm
yes?
sorry.
Go ahead, Patty Ann.
I saw on that you have PVC business. Is there something in our files? Are you starting a file for business?
I am Patty Ann and I'm almost done.
And is that in there?
So what I'm adding in PV, their scripts. So it's the business scripts we're using.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
then also there's a really good, I took it from the David Wood training when he was interviewing Jessica Rainier. And she was talking about what her experience had been when working for Citibank, where she evaluated all of the different companies in our profession, their income plan, and how there is absolutely nothing that compares to it. It's a short, again, 3-minute video, but that's the video I have in there. It's one of the videos I have in there. I think it's very effective. So that'll be done this week. I'll let you guys know so you know when to download it. Okay.
Lynn, you know what else? I love Cindy and Michael Hedges video. I use that all the time for business, where it's a short video where they're talking to somebody about the business opportunity and how Michael told her she needs to go back out into the business world. And it's just a really powerful, that and the Jason one. They're short videos, but I can send you the links. You could take a peek at them.
That's great. And you know, that's really timely, Patty Ann, because to talk to someone about going back out into the business world, where right now people aren't wanting to do that. So it kind of speaks into people's listening. So yeah, please send that to me and I'll include that. I always like to have.
Patty,
more-
can you post those on TMA?
Well, I'll
So
put
we
them in, I'll put them in
Okay.
here, Julie, so everybody's going to the same resource library. So I will add it in right here where you see PVC business. All of they will be right in there. And
Yeah, I understand, but can we post it on Facebook too, so that I can tag people in it too? In those two videos.
well, you know what we're trying to do, Julie, is we're trying to use the tools that the new system. And so if you have it there where you're sending it to someone as part of PVC, then we're adapting to the system, but absolutely we'll put it in there so you can grab it. You'll have it right there where you can get it. So it'll be right.
And also I want to make sure you like them, Lynn, but I think they're two really good videos to look at. So you take a peek and then we'll go from there.
All right, great. Thank you, Patty Ann. That's
Mhm.
great. Okay, so you guys, now I'd like you guys to talk to me because this week our assignment in our pods was to really play with this. Really play with this ATM. And we did the first step and you wisely asked me the question. I think it was you, Nikki. Actually, a couple of you asked me. You said, well, when I listened to Jessica's training, it said ATM was actually tagging on a page. And I said, I'm on our Facebook pages. And I said, but if you listen at what they all said was the messaging part was the most important. So I wanted us to not get overwhelmed and just start with learning how to share the message. And it's actually fun once you start doing it. So what's the purpose of ATM? This is our system for telling our story, for recruiting, for problem solving, casting the vision, social proof, answering questions, leveraging team, and then moving people through that sales process to a Zoom, right? So it's really moving them through the funnel to conversion. And that's really what the process is. So I'd love to hear, KJ, Mark, and I we focused on the business this week and did our scripts with business. Tell me how everybody else did. I'd love to hear your stories. How was it for you this week?
Wanda and I did product with Misty, so we did that.
And how did it go, Dorothy?
I thought it went really well. I mean, it wasn't exactly word for word. It just kind of fit our situation. So I was happy with both of them.
That's great. Were you guys able to keep your interactions at 1 minute?
No, mine went a little bit over on one. I think one of them was a little bit over a minute on the introduction. And then on my comment back, I think it was like 1.17.
That's not so bad. That's pretty good.
We're gonna dock you for that 0.17.
How about you? How about Patty Ann and Nikki? How did you guys do?
Nikki and I and Leah and Kim worked on it and we did well. And we did it through Facebook messaging. So we were done at that 1 minute mark, even though we weren't done. I wasn't done. So it cut us off, but it was good. We sort of worked through some glitches and we'll keep doing it. And it really wasn't as bad as I anticipated. I don't know what Nikki or Leah or Kim felt, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun once you start. And I think it's fun to play with scenarios and really try to get a picture of what your pretend prospect would be, because we're going to make these stories up, but we're going to be able to tweak them according to the person. So we have so many different versions of it, but it's good to get one really down. So yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun.
I think the more you do it, the more fun it gets to be, don't you think? I mean, at first,
Dorothy did it with a real person, with her client, a potential client.
Yeah, I did it with like three different people.
Yeah, she did it with, she's into action. That's okay, right?
That's great. It's what it should be.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, we went straight into sharing. I've been doing it with real people, like real prospects. And Dorothy did one for me, introduced me, and then I talked to the person. I sent one right back the next day because it was a late night one. So, I think it was fine, but I'm not sure what the feedback was, Dorothy.
Well, there was one that I know that gave me feedback. Well, Celia is made a cart for her and sent it to her. So I can't remember who I talked to about Celia, Tanner. And then Allison, she responded to me today, and I had, asked her because I think Kelly Jo helped me with Allison. And then there was another lady that you helped me with, Julie. I can't remember what, but I don't know if she's responded back yet or not.
I know
but
I did Celia with you.
Okay, then she responded back, and she's actually, she wants to get a cart. She wants to do, and we're going to probably have to do another one because I'm talking to her also about the business. And I shared a little bit about that. I probably jumped the gun a little bit, but she is interested in looking at the business because I was telling her, because she was worried about the money, how much it was going to cost her, and she didn't want to use her husband's money. So I was like, well, you could just find you and two, and find a couple of people who might want to do this with you. So she's looking for some people to do it with her as well. So we're going to get together on that.
That's wonderful. And yeah, by all means, you guys practice with your, go move it out of your pod. The pod is really just a place for us all to get our feet wet, and I'll tell you, one of the things that helped me in the process was I'll write out my script because I want to try to keep it short. That's one thing that has been emphasized over and over again is you don't want to have it drag on too much, and it's easy for that to happen. So I wrote out a script, and I just sent myself a text so I could see how long it actually ran when I did it. And it made such a difference for me to do that because then I knew if I had to tighten down what I was saying. So when we did it today, I was the expert. And so when I first tried to give my response, I was approaching 1.5 minutes. And so then I just edited out a bit to keep the content strong. And what's amazing, once you get your scripts down, so your business script and your product script, you'll find that you'll use the same thing over and over and over again. And that's, once you get that down, it's important to do that because that's how you're going to start to create momentum, right? And so sometimes your business script, you're going to do 10, 15, 20 times a day as this starts to get rolling. Now, when you're answering a question, it might be different, but the business script and your quick 30-second product story, you want that so it's so natural that you can create velocity, because the more we do it, the more we're going to be connecting throughout our team. And so we want it to be that easy. So that's why it's important just to stay with this, get this down, and like I now have on my phone, I have a section that's called ATM scripts, and I have my business and my story script. So I'm, my product script, so that it's something I could just jump to quickly. And I've worked on it enough that I know it's a minute. And so,
Hey, Lynn, you know what else? Oh,
yes,
I
Patty.
need some of that nootropic.
You know what else? And it's gone.
You know what you were making me think of though? Oh, about having our scripts ready. I was thinking with our team or with everybody, share your scripts because people don't really know your story. And this way, if we all share our product and business scripts, certain things appeal. Like I'm older, so my appeal to this business model will be different than somebody, Nikki, who's 10 years younger than me. We want to do that. We want to make sure we have different scripts that are going to appeal to people according to their age. Also, what you posted in TMA, I don't know how many people saw that, but we've been using that for years, and it's really good for the new people, how to create your story. So go back and find that again, Lynn. That was really, that we've been using it, but new people, it's really a format, how to create your story, before isogenics or before, this business model. Just it walks you through a nice, quick, concise way to make your story if you're struggling with that.
And you need your story. It's extraordinarily important to this process. And so I know that some of you just recently went to University in Action, Julie, Wanda, Barb, and I'm thinking that what would be a great plan is next week, we will do a training on sharing your story. And I would love you guys to co-train with me on that because I think it's a really important thing to do. And so we'll post that. It is currently posted in ICANN Mastermind. So that's the place where you can find it, but we'll also put it in TMA so you guys have access to it. But I think it's critical. And it's what do we always know about sales? Stories sell, right? Stories sell. And so and you don't want it so long because people just want to know what's in it for me. Can I do this? Will I get help? And what's your story? Is it something that is pertinent to me in my life? So we'll talk all about that next week. And yeah, I agree with you, Patty. It's such an important thing for everyone to have. Okay, there it is. Okay, so moving right along, you guys, now we're going to start, oops, we're going to start to share. Here we go. We're going to start to now add tag message. So we're going to move on now that we're getting message down, and you kind of have the strategy of that. Where are we sharing where are we sharing when we're tagging people? We're going to go to our product pages for Glimmer and Glow to show people what our products are, and Ultimate Health Quest for our products in weight management. And for natural beauty, it's Glimmer, Glow, and Grow. And so I'm curious where the nootropic will go, but we'll find out. Anyway, this is really important. So these are our 2 pages. So when we're ad tagging and messaging, we're bringing someone in, you're inviting them into the page. We have a script for that. And when you bring them into the page, you want to make sure you're going to the next step, which is you're saying to them, let me know when you're in, I'll watch for you, and I'll tag you on it, something that, and you just think something that would be really interesting, or there's a great story, or there's information on gum health here that I didn't even know collagen affected gum health. And so you're going to tag them on something, and then you're also going to ask someone else, you're going to tag the person under an article or under a post that's there, and then you're also going to tag another person on our team. So maybe Julie would bring in Mary, and she'd tag Dorothy and say, Dorothy, why don't you share that amazing story, if she's an Ultimate Health Quest, of what happened to you on the last reset, right? So again, we want to get as much of that interaction between people, and it is up to us to make our pages strong, right? So this is where, you want to make sure every day you're jumping on and you're doing something, bringing in an article, sharing some information, sharing a story, sharing a before and after, right? And this is a team sport here, and this is where we all need to do this together, okay? So add tag message. We're going to start that this week, moving into that even more. Okay, anybody have any questions about that? Do you kind of know what the process looks like?
I used it a couple of times with Wanda and Kelly Jo. So I know, and I use it quite often whenever I have somebody and especially people who I'm trying to reach back out to after I've, they kind of like do like a drip campaign in there.
I have to tell you, you are doing a very effective job, Dorothy, of using both our groups, like showing your own before and afters in both groups. It has been so effective. And so how do we all support what Dorothy's doing in that? I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to ask you to kind of jump in and give me your opinion. So Dorothy put a picture of herself, an image of her, of what happened to her when she went through the reset. What would you guys all be doing to keep that conversation going and interesting for the people that are in that group and taking a look around?
Well, for one thing, commenting on it and congratulating her, and tagging maybe another person on there, like to show people results that are happening.
Exactly.
Or other pictures
to get other people interested.
Exactly.
Asking questions, even if I know the answer, ask her questions so other people will say, yeah,
Exactly. Both really good points. And here's another idea. Share your own information. Like what happened to you when you did a reset? Go into Isogenics and go to Isogenics, the Isobody Challenge Facebook group. Take an image and share it. Bring it in and say, look, this is what happened to Bo. Look at his before and afters. So sharing other people's before and afters. If it's a guy, find some guy pictures. If it's in Glimmer, Glow, and Grow, if it's a guy, show Don, right? Show what happened to Don using the hair revival. Show you're picking up files where you're getting everybody else's before and after so that you can put them in easily in these groups. Because again, what is it? Stories sell. So people are going to want to see other people's stories, right? And other people's results. And the more we do that, what happens is people will go in and they're going to read the comments even more than the initial post. They're going to read the comments. So we want to strengthen that page. Okay, so that's something, it's a.
But I think it's also important if, when you're showing these examples, you call them by their names. So that makes them real, you know, that the real people, not just see this guy, see this girl, you know, this is, you know, but say, you know, this is so-and-so and they're on my team, or, you know, give them some kind of background or whatever and say, look at this. This is fantastic, you know, and make it personal, I think is important.
That's a great suggestion. So even saying, this is my friend Laura, right? And this is what happened to her. It's amazing, right? And
Yeah,
so
I've been using Dorothy to some people. I show them Dorothy all the time. Just got the courage to do it. Mine, I need to work on mine a little bit. I'm not.
Come on, Prissy, step out, Prissy, step out.
I don't think
girlfriend.
people want to see my bra. You know? I need to get some more clothes.
Well, my underwear were showing, so.
well, Prissy, you're very
Oh my God, we're gonna get banned from Facebook. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I show Dorothy a lot. She's my model. I worked with her. I've known her for years, so I have a relationship with her, and you know, it comes from my heart. Look what she's doing.
Yeah. So your network, and probably your network, knows Dorothy as well. And that's what's so effective, right? And then you can expand it. So maybe you start with Dorothy, and then maybe there's a post that Nicole put up that, again, has somebody with such an amazing, you know, changeover in terms of, let's say it's collagen. Then you can tag as well, and maybe tag Dorothy and your person and say, you guys, take a look at this result. Isn't this amazing? So again, sharing stories as much as we can and just weaving everyone together. That's the power of what we do on our page. It's social proof. And so great suggestions, you guys. Wonderful. So I just also want to make a point for everybody. When we, a couple years ago, on our Ultimate Health Quest, there were so many welcome posts that guests got really annoyed because they felt it was more welcome posts than it was actual content. So I just want to remind you of, we changed the strategy over, and it has worked very, very well. So when you're bringing a new guest in, look for this post right here. Okay, it's pinned to the top of the page in Ultimate Health Quest, and that is KJ welcoming people and telling them how the page works and what this process is, and talking about our amazing system. And it's under this post in comments where you're welcoming your guests. So rather than a separate post welcoming your guests, because it just becomes distracting when people are coming in and they're looking for information. Same thing in Glimmer, Glow, and Grow. There's a beautiful welcome by Lauren. And under her, that's where we put our welcome for our guests. Okay, just so that when people get on, they're getting maximum value from our pages. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We want to make these pages.
And Lynn, when they make that post, I encourage everybody to watch this video by KJ. I'm like, check out this video by KJ. And, you know, then I would tag Dorothy. Dorothy, you know, leave your story with so-and-so.
Excellent. And that's one.
Because the video is excellent. KJ's video is excellent.
It's fantastic. And Lauren,
I have a suggestion about the tag, even if it's in just that welcome video, like, hey, check out KJ. And whoever it is you're going to be messaging with, that three-way party to share their story, you tag that person and say, I can't wait for you to hear so-and-so's story. And that's when you go into Messenger and your text and say, hey, so-and-so, I got to bring in so-and-so, share your story, please. And then you start your ATM with them.
so good, KJ. So let's say, Prissy, you're welcoming someone onto the group and you're tagging Dorothy. And then you're going to jump into an ATM and say, oh my goodness, Mary, I can't wait for you to hear Dorothy's story. I just tagged you in our Facebook group. Wait until you hear it. And then Dorothy jumps on and shares her 1 minute or 30-second story about what happened when she used the products. It's so great. So you see, everything we do, we're weaving it together to create a really good customer experience. And the more we do this, the more we'll find we can do everything from our phone. Right. And so we want it as simple and effective and efficient as possible. And so so it's not major time consuming. It's just jumping on, doing a share, having an ATM. And if your story is on your phone, even if you're really busy or you're distracted, it'll keep you within that. If you're reading your story, your script, until you just get it down, you master it, you'll stay within that less than a minute or a minute time frame. And that's why it's so useful to have your scripts in front of you. Okay, you guys, so I know that some of you have jumped ahead and you've started to use PVC. And I know, Julie, you told me you've been using it a lot. So can you guys tell me how's that going for you with PVC? We'll wrap after this. So, but I'd love to hear about it. You're muted, Jules.
Well, I just got today. This weekend I brought some samples to an old friend of mine, childhood friend. Boom. We've been texting. I mean, I sent her videos. Of course, I sent her videos. I sent her all the videos and everything, and she just had, how do I get the moisturizer, the Celatwa stuff? And I just said, I'm gonna send you a cart.
It's so easy, isn't it?
Yeah. and this is a great connection. So
yeah, I've sent a lot. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, baby.
Okay, I'm in my car. Yeah, I've done several too, people that I need to follow back up with, but I've done some with Lynn and with Julie, and they've worked out well.
It's so effective. So I'll tell you a story. So again, back to the woman who I'm bringing in, she said, well, how does your business work? And I said, let me just show you. And I sent her a lookbook. Then I sent her a video. And then I said, that's it. The last thing I'd send you is a cart. But since you've already purchased products, I'm not going to send you a cart. She goes, that's it. I'm like, that's it. I was talking to somebody about the business opportunity, and I was getting my hair done. And I just took out the picture of Kim, the long run of Kim for a year, that picture. I should have just been, oh my goodness, that's amazing. I said, I know, let me send you a lookbook. And she's going through the lookbook. And then she said, this is incredible. I said, I know, let me show you a video to show you the science. I sent her a video. She made the decision that the business wasn't for her. I said, but you've got to get the product. She goes, I know. And so she's getting the product from me. And then I said to her, you don't have to do the business, but if you'd like to get your products paid for, let me show you an image of how you get your products paid for. She goes, oh, well, my mother's going to want this. And so is my friend. And so she doesn't even realize that that's the business, right? And so you can use this so effectively. Just have it on your phone. So you just grab it and send it. And so for someone that's looking at it as a business opportunity, like I did with the woman from financial services, I said, let me show you how my business works. And I just texted her one and then the other. So this is very, very effective. And so this is something you want to be doing more and more. So I'm just going to challenge everybody this week, just even if you're just getting used to it, again, you learn the lesson by doing. So this week, working with your pods, make sure you're doing this. Just go through the process. Even if you're doing it with each other in your pod, just pretend they're a prospect. Hey, Pam, I'd love, so I know that I'm so excited to show you this lookbook and these amazing results people are getting with this revolutionary collagen product. You send it. Okay. And then, so Julie, I see your hand is raised. What would you like to say?
Just want to say I had lunch with my sister-in-law and she's like, I need some of that collagen. And so then we toasted everybody. I brought everybody some adaptogen elixir, and they're like under major stress. They're like big real estate people and they're like stressed out, and it's May and its grandchildren are graduating and they've had a lot of drama in their life. And so they're like, we're all shooting the adaptogen elixir, toasting at dinner. And then I sent her that picture of the special. She's like, I want both of them. I need both. I want to order both of them. But guess what? I'm going to make a consultant. I'm making her a consultant so she can get her at least one of the orders free. So I'm just going to say, it's not even about building a business. Like right now, this is not the time for them, but I'm going to set them up as a consultant because it's the smart way to shop. And if somebody offers you, a referral program, that's what I've been telling people. Just take advantage of the money they have available. Why wouldn't you get your products for $25 versus $225. I mean, it's not about you building some tremendous business. Now, if you want to talk about that later in your life, I'd be glad to. But just be a smart shopper.
That's it. So you want to show people how to order smart, right? There's all different ways. And some people, they're going to say, I don't want to do the business because all they think about is how busy their lives are and they don't have room for it. So when you say, I'm going to just show you how to order smart, that's the business. And when they understand that's as complicated as our business is, that sometimes people back into it. Like I remember there was one of the calls we were on recently when they were introducing the system, which is what we'll talk about next week, is the onboarding. And someone said, well, I think I'm a 2, but I don't know, I might be a 3. And so it's people knowing where they are, but when they realize it's easier than they thought it could possibly be, that's what happens, right? We keep it so simple. And the more you do this, the simpler when your energy is. This is why we're spending a lot of time on this, you guys, and I want you to do it as often as you can. So if you don't have a prospect right now that you're ready to share it with, keep doing it with one another. Because here's what happens. Your energy changes when it becomes natural to you, right? So it's not just doing one ATM and saying, okay, I'm one and done. Keep doing it. Keep doing it with product, keep doing it with business, keep sharing the photos, keep inviting people to our page, keep sharing the videos so that you do it enough that it becomes natural and innate to you and it becomes your way of doing business. Because when you do, your energy completely shifts. You know what I'm talking about? Think of anything you've ever had to master. Once you get it, it's like, oh, it's easy. And when you feel it's easy, so will the people in your life. They'll see it's easy, and people need easy today. So keep doing it until you own it. All right. So this week, keep doing your ATM. And then from here, move into PVC. And we'll talk about it some more next week. So come back with your stories, because your stories help other people start to see how possible this is. Because this is essential for our growth. Everything comes from here. So let's rock and roll together, you guys. So anybody have any final comments? Questions?
So I had a, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Barbara.
Okay, just making sure. So I had a friend that didn't sleep well and always woke up at 3 in the morning. And I finally convinced him to try some adaptogen the last 2 nights. And they're like amazed that they didn't wake up at 3 in the morning and they slept so restful. And so anyway, it was a guy, a friend of mine, but he goes, this stuff really works. And I'm like, I told you. And I mean, he hadn't gotten a good night's sleep in forever. He goes, I wake up every morning at 3. And he goes, the last 2 nights I haven't. So that's a true testimonial.
Right. And having that, even if you say, oh my goodness, you jump on to our Glimmer, Glow and Grow and you say, I have the best story to share with all of you guys. And you tell that story. And let me tell you, Barbara, like, here's how you would use an ATM. I never slept through the night. I never slept. I was so sleep deprived when I joined this company. I would wake up in the middle, I would use a tape recorder to try to debrief what was going on in my brain. And I tried everything. And it wasn't until I used these products that now I sleep like a baby. So if you had me jump on an ATM and share my story, see how that works? When we share stories, it's really fast, but somebody hears just that. Like, I never could sleep and now I sleep like a baby. That's how we use ATM. And also on our pages, you jumping on and just sharing that story, right? And just writing, oh my goodness, this product works so well. That is, you don't know how many people are on that page that aren't sleeping through the night and they're so frustrated by it, or they have friends that are having that same experience. People are stressed right now.
Yeah, and my hairdresser too, she's doing the 30-day. And I was talking to her on the phone, and I think Julie has talked to her too. And she goes, oh my God, I sleep so great. She goes, I hadn't slept this great in years. So,
and you know what? You know what? Those little tiny things, like, they look like little tiny things. That's huge.
Yep.
Like, that is a huge deal for the healing of the body. Like, I have a friend that she's like, since I started doing this, I don't have acid reflux. I'm like, Alicia, I don't care if you lose an inch. I don't care if you lose a pound. Do you realize the significance of not having acid reflux? Or I can't say that.
Yeah. Well,
I can't say that it
anybody
cured
from the
that.
FDA here? If there isn't,
Yeah.
anyone, we're okay, but just, you can't put that kind
Be
of thing.
careful, I can't say it cured that, but let's just say she had some issues with her digestion and she's doing much better with that. I mean, like, but when she and I talk, it's like, do you realize what acid does to your esophagus and to your gut? I mean, like that in itself is worth drinking a shake, drinking you 2 shakes. I
And
mean,
listen,
she agrees.
And here's the way you can weave it forward, you guys. So let's say you're talking to her and you say, you know what? There are so many people that suffer from this. How would you feel if I helped you write it? To put a post in our product page, because we might be able to help a whole lot of other people, right? And what does that do? It builds belief. And it helps we're telling the story of the products on our product pages. So you guys, when you get stories like that, just ask someone and do it with a heart of service. There's so many people that could use this. Would you be willing to share? So you guys, this is great. I love these kind of calls when you're so interactive. Please keep bringing your stories. This is the best way for us all to learn from each other as we really own this new system. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you for sharing your stories. Please keep working on this all week. All right. Keep it going until you have mastery. Right? One time is a great start, but it's many times that gets you to mastery. So let's all keep going. Do we all agree to keep going at it this week? Just
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. See ya.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Thank
night,
you so
everybody.
much.
Good night.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Good
Good night,
night.
John Boy.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, you guys.
I can't leave it.